Looks a little meaty.
Looks suspicious.
Triple X. I know I'm getting big when I'm wearing all the triple X's. Hello, everybody. And hello. How are we all holding up? I unmuted myself for the first time.
I know. Okay.
Hi, guys.
Sounds good.
Oops. I'm going to pull Titan on here in a second. Hey. Hey.
God bless you.
Titan, are you ready? You what? You talk to the fans? Okay. Hey, guys. So what a wild week. We had the holiday season. Are you coming in? Okay.
No, I'm not. Before.
Okay. Would you want to give him a shot? Can I see the right bite? Okay, come on.
You're not.
Hey,
Come on. Sorry.
Mommy, he's not allowed to talk to me.
yeah.
Not allowed.
Can
Can I see, Mommy? Please.
Can you flex first? Whoa. Go close. I don't see you on the screen.
I don't even see you.
Wait.
What? What?
Let me see this.
Ooh.
Let me see this.
No.
Wow, get out of here.
Wait.
What about
Oh.
No,
this one? What about this one?
No.
I said no,
That's the
no.
right side. Is there a better one?
Nothing, no.
Okay. Don't give him too much, son. Don't give him too much. Jeffrey's getting too big. He's breaking the walls. Podcast room's going to have to be bigger. I might have to take Bobo's room and turn that into a podcast room.
She's gonna have to fumigate that room first. Have to put the black light in that room.
Let me see what we got here.
Are
It's
you reading
getting
the
big.
Twitter comments? Yes, sir. There we go. Here's a good one. Mike, what do you think of the ab wheel for ab training?
Love. And you know when I first was introduced to the ab wheel in I was probably about 20. That was late, but at Danny and Santos's place from Eric Polson, the coach, he would have everybody. It's a martial arts studio. Danny and Santos was Bruce Lee's main student. And we do ab wheels as we were doing single leg takedowns. So it was like, wow, different world. It's great. I just love it too, just because it's your whole body is tense. You guys know what the ab wheel is? Right? The little handles just got a little wheel on it. And I also went over, it was cool, a couple different discussions. Arnold talking about shoulders, talking about dumbbell shoulder press,
That was good.
barbell shoulder press, both behind and in front, and a lot of behind was the term used, which I love. Front raises, upright rows, and then Vince Garanda's over the bench rear delts, and that was the shoulder workout. So that old school stuff and all those exercises still work so well.
They want to know. The fans want to know.
Haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet. I'm assuming it's going to be great. From what I saw and what Frank Grillo said, he's going to be a good Superman. And it's Gunn. Is it Gunn that's doing it?
Is it?
James Gunn?
I don't know.
Am I wrong on that?
James Gunn,
Okay.
written and directed.
Written. Oh, nice. Name some other James Gunns.
Like movies that he
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what he did a lot of the DC stuff recently. He's got The Specialist, Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
Really?
All
He
right.
wrote the screenplay for Dawn of the Dead.
The original?
The 2004 remake.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Scooby Doo.
Oh, jeez.
2002. He did
Okay.
Scooby Doo.
Not
Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. Him as a producer. Lolly Love, Avengers: Infinity War,
okay.
Avengers: Endgame.
So he did. That's Marvel, right?
As a producer.
Yeah.
I thought he was only DC.
Yeah. So I thought he did Wolverine or one of the Wolverines.
The special Scooby Doo, Dawn of the Dead, Scooby Doo 2, Slither, Super, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Which were great.
1, 2, and 3, Suicide Squad.
Okay. So he's a hit and miss. But it's tough to hit him out of the park all the time,
Strange,
which was
Thor,
actually really good.
Spider-Man.
The one that we like?
No, I think the first of the new kid.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I would do both. It's the cool thing about those two. You can do both of them, right?
Conman.
Con Man?
I think it's a different Conman.
Hammer Girls at the end, barbell at the beginning. Because I like the barbell because I want to go really heavy with the barbell. And the cool thing about Hammer Curls is it's at the end and you can still go heavy with that exercise. That's one of those exercises you can just load the weight up.
Mike, best advice to go from 365 to 405 on the bench. Heavy tricep accessories?
Block press, floor presses, some pin presses off the Smith machine, and then just staying consistent. I would also just jump on power bodybuilding because then it's guaranteed in 9 weeks you're going to put on 50 pounds on that bench. So there's your nuggets right there. Great question though. But all those aspects where you're trying to trigger the nervous system to get used to that weight.
What?
Mm-hmm. Guardians of the Galaxy and
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad's entertaining. The Guardians of the Galaxy though, but I mean with that lead actor, he's fun to watch.
What? You're right.
This is one of the 2000s.
Classic.
It's like one of my favorite shirts. Chef, can
You need it?
I probably,
What? You want to film
no, I won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna make the next one. We'll make it like a tapestry.
Oh, yeah. Should a guy below 225 bench do direct tricep work? That's the one I laughed at earlier.
I don't understand the question.
Neither do I.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. I can't answer some of these because it doesn't make any sense. Of course you're doing tricep work. Even if you don't bench, right?
You do tricep work.
Yeah. Why would you skip any body part? Doing that weight or not doing that weight? I don't understand the question. That's not a question.
Yeah.
So I saw something the other day, and the guys were talking about how they don't do presses anymore for their shoulders because they get enough muscle development doing other exercises.
Okay.
And that's great. That's great if it is just muscle that you want on your body.
And a vagina between your legs.
But again, unfortunately, in those early stages, if you're only thinking muscle, then you're missing the point of exercise and range of motion. And some of the guys, even though they went off on a tangent for some of these questions I put up, you want to, again, stress the body, do a full range of motion, stay in good form, and train all body parts.
What's the secret to mind and muscle control?
Learn to pose.
Well, look at the
Pose
rails.
everything.
Just put a reel up on YouTube for that.
Did you now? Can you give us a little detail on that?
Yeah, well, we just had a cool video where you use this, what do you call it?
The stim?
The stim machine, and you worked out through it. And I feel like that alone, like, connects the muscle to your mind. I feel like that's something. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, Those
go
stim
to rails,
machines.
go
What's
to
the one
rails.
we have?
New X.
New X is one we have.
Yeah.
So go check out the YouTube shorts.
And you get so
And
up
and I think I even talked about how the machine was overriding me, controlling the muscle.
You have a whole video on YouTube about that
Yeah.
too.
But as you can see through the workout,
So awesome.
in time, I controlled the machine and the stimulation to the muscle and could relax it and flex it. Relative to the machine at the beginning was just in charge of me. They're great machines. And they're really good for you guys that are injured or working back from something or have a lagging body part or want more recovery too. It doesn't have to be just to work out. I use mine a lot just for
Oh, the
recovery.
recovery aspect's great.
I will put that on and stay in my red light therapy area. And so I'll have the stim on me. Let's say I put it on my lower back and then I'm laying down with the red light therapy. When I get up from that,
Like crazy. This
body
and that.
feels so healthy and fresh and just, yeah, it's a beauty.
Mike, what do you think about single arm preachers, dumbbell curls?
Love it. One of my favorites. I think that's anytime we're doing a workout with somebody or an influencer stuff, we usually finish with that one because it's such a great isolation. And like Tom Platt says, a lot of stuff it just looks great on film as well. And so that's one of my favorites. But also I go a couple different ways. I can go straight down the pipe with it, or I'll turn it and pull it in. So yeah, play with that. It's a great one though. I know Mona loves that one too.
I do. I love like working on the negative on that one.
On the negative,
Yeah, when you go down.
you need to learn to stay positive.
I only work on the negatives in the gym.
I got you. All right. During the exercise, not people.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mike, what are your tips on staying with the same diet?
Well, you're going to stay with the same diet for a period of time until your body adapts to it. Then you switch it. So my belief on staying with the same diet for a lot of people, I hear this, is the person will come in and go, well, I've been on this diet. I'm in a deficit and I've been there for a year. That blows my mind because you yourself will feel it when the body is working with the nutrition that you're on and your body is making these small changes relative to when your body adapts to it. And it's just the same and it's not getting anything better. You're not moving up and down in weight. You're not getting better workouts. You're not on any aspect moving forward. And so that's one of the biggest things that I love about the Titan Meal Plan is it keeps you going forward. As soon as you gain weight or lose weight, it adjusts to make sure that you're continuing to move forward. Everybody knows plateaus, right? Everybody gets into a plateau and then you got to switch everything. That's the thing. Stay ahead of that plateau. That way you only have to change the most minor things and you stay ahead of the plateau so you keep getting better throughout the whole year. Just like you wouldn't stay on an hour of cardio for a year straight every day. You wouldn't do that, right? Because your body would adapt to it. And so then you don't get the benefit of that hour. So same thing with the nutrition. And I love that Robbie says something. Robbie says, your body has to be able to utilize a lot of different foods. Don't just stay with the same thing day in and day out. Change it every couple of weeks. Change it. Stay ahead of that. And it doesn't need to be huge changes.
That's all point. What's your favorite training split?
I think just the one body part 5 days a week. Yeah. A couple of days off, hit a body part. That's one of my favorites. But geez, you stay with that for 3 months, and then I want to change it to power bodybuilding. I stay that 3 months, and I want to change it to strength gains, and then I'll get the itch every once in a while to go on the 30-day blitz with those 2-a-days, 6 days a week. So they all have their place. They're all pretty amazing.
What about one body part, 12 days a week?
One body part, 12 days a week. I don't mind. That's a lot of rest in there.
Daddy, can you turn the fireplace on, please? Daddy?
Yes, you can do. After you give a pose, the right arm.
No, I
And then
mean
you
one
can
body
turn it
part, and you don't rest for 12 days.
Yes. And then go the other one.
Get in there, dog.
No,
Answer this one. Go, but I don't see you. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Sorry. Ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and boom.
What did you just?
Boom. Why is he smiling when he flexes? Why is smiling?
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you see that pop? He popped it. He fired that up.
Why is he smiling?
So when it comes to working out, somebody asked me about him, and I said that I will make sure that he could. Did it? You see the pop? I will make sure that he can pose all of his muscles prior to him really hitting the weights. So until he masters the Frank Zane or Danny Hester or Breon is somebody that Breon, if you guys don't know that boy, he can pose. He can pose and he stays in it, and pretty amazing to watch. Mostly he has that superhero physique, and he's such a good cat. Man, he trains like a beast. No, I'm not an AC/DC or that kind of heavy metal stuff, but Mona is.
Do you change your workouts based on your recovery stats from the Whoop?
No, not even a little bit. So great question. And yeah, my Whoop, if I listened to the data that this thing spits out, yeah, I don't even know if I would train. I can give you an example. The last 3 days I've been recovered 14, 17, and 19% is my recovery the last 3 days when I wake up. Now imagine you reading that 14% and it's like, well, wait a minute, I haven't even recovered, so I shouldn't train today. Then I'll go blast it and have an incredible strength workout. Also, where it's not just the strength, but the cardiovascular of moving from one set of that kind of weight into the next set and into the next set. And yesterday, I think we squatted. Did we squat yesterday? Yeah, we squatted yesterday. So I got done again, 16% recovered.
What's that?
We squatted yesterday and did it today. And so I started doing belt squats more than I have in the last 3 months. No hands and just
I was just gonna say,
playing,
you've
repping
been-
it.
You've been even you've been changing the whole
Yeah.
game.
So no, I don't change it because of my Whoop. Don't get over driven by the Whoop. Also, some people put out information about the accuracy of these things. They're good guidelines. They're good, and I like stuff like this. But at the same time, they're not perfect. They're not 100% accurate. So it's good to have. But as long as you can mentally, as long as it mentally doesn't mess you up, and you control it, not that information controls you. I think that's one of the biggest things.
Mike, I fast every year in September for a metabolic disorder. I managed to maintain muscle while fasting, but I'm not getting stronger year to year. Do you have any advice for this? Happy holidays.
Well, it sounded like that you're doing this at one portion of the year. And so the rest of the year, you have that opportunity to make sure that you're taking in food, that you can get that strength. Now, the strength comes off of your program, right? So if you eat, let's say hypothetically, a ridiculous, let's say you eat 5,000 calories, right? But you're still popping around the gym. You're not doing a power program like power bodybuilding. You're still not going to get strong. you have to train to be strong. And so you got to get into those percentages and do the workout for strength. Okay. So that would be the one thing I would recommend to you. And I wouldn't recommend you to do that during September when you're fasting. And I'm assuming that you do it all month long. So yeah, I would focus on that other portion of the year. And here's something. Do it up to that point where you go into your fast for September this next year. All right. Or join me right now in the Titan crew and do power bodybuilding with me. And that way by February, you may be the strongest you've been in years. Great question, though.
I love bodybuilding, but I also love doing jiu-jitsu. And I find
Yes.
it hard to balance them and also progress in both at the same time.
You know why he's doing that?
Let me see. Let's see it pop.
He's eating something there.
Oh, geez. You're taking the stage.
Go, Titan. Whoa.
What?
Boom. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Show me your muscle.
Mom's
Yeah.
got the biggest
Oh,
muscle.
wait a minute.
Dad, you can carry me?
Yes, I
We
could
got
carry.
here.
I could carry you.
Wow. So I fully understand that. So what I do is I'm rolling on the days I'm not lifting. And I try to save it for those days where I got a couple of days in a row to where I'm not lifting, where I do my jiu-jitsu. That being said, it's going to come down to how many days you're doing it, right? If you're doing jiu-jitsu 5 days a week, like a lot of these guys, 6 days a week, it's going to interfere with the weight training. Mostly because you're rolling at the end of class and really just giving it your all. That's true fatigue, right? You can work out really, really hard, but it's not as much as grappling. There's nothing harder than grappling. So you're just going to have to learn the balance of going, well, what do I want to be 100% over here, 100% over here? You're going to have to give and take a little bit, unfortunately. Or set up your program to where you can do those days where you're rolling and then have a moment of recovery before you get back into the lifts. And then maybe lifting 4 days a week, heavy power program. And then you got another 3 days to do jujitsu. That's recommendation. I don't know who was said, but a great coach just says you're going to have to pick and choose. Are you weightlifting 6 days a week, or are you doing jiu-jitsu 6 days a week? I think you should be able to do both, but you just won't be 100%. It's a give and take. The great thing about weightlifting is you don't have to go 6 days a week.
What's your split right now?
4 days, 2 days on, day off, 2 days on, 2 days off.
Is that power bodybuilding?
Mm-hmm. We're getting it in. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday, Thursday. Man, we got a load here today. Hi, guys. I hope everybody had a great holiday season.
Any tips for how often you should increase weight and how much?
Well, you're trying to do a power program again, which is great, but you just follow your percentages over those 12 weeks that you're doing it. And it's the plan itself will tell you how much percentage-wise to go up. And it will tell you it in a cool way, like where it adds in maybe a set. And you technically don't go up, you just have more volume to that. And so it goes from 5 sets of 3 to 6 sets of 3, 7 sets of 3, 8 sets of 3. Then it drops it back down. You raise the weight and it goes back down to 4 sets of 3. So you kind of jump back. So it gets the body ready for that heavier weight. But again, it's got to be on that plan, right? You got to be on that plan.
Do you ever train short range of motion, or is it always full range for you?
When we'll do partials. We'll do rep outs. That's kind of like a tussle, but that's maybe once every couple weeks, once a month. We do partials, but partials is the full range of motion. But I don't do anything bodybuilding wise where you see these guys doing biceps, just a short range like that. That's rarity, and that's probably just for fun or playing around with somebody that says, let's do 50 reps.
50, right.
I hope that made sense, because like a partial is an actual full range of motion in the exercise that you want to do. Like you do a partial squat with an overloaded weight, but that's as far as the range you want to go. And I'm assuming that you're asking, just like these bodybuilders nowadays, everything's short range of motion,
Yeah.
short stroking it is what I call it.
One for Mo.
Mo,
I'm a 51-year-old female lifting 4 days a week. Are there any additional supplements that you would recommend for females that she finds that work better?
you're taking your aminos, you're taking your glutamine to recover, mostly at 51. Make sure you're doing that. Mo,
Yeah. What is happening here? Yeah, you guys want some of this? You know you do. You saw my bicep. They were like, what is she on?
So, 51-year-old female lifting 4 days a week. Are there any additional supplements that you recommend for females?
No. Food, for me, what works for me might not work for you. So let's keep it in mind. Everybody's different. So if you just started working out, you
I'm assuming
obviously
she doesn't. She seems, from reading that, she put that together pretty well. I think she's an avid lifter, and
yeah.
4 days a week is a smart number. 51. I'm assuming you've done your blood work, so you know that you're okay. I know menopause is a bad ass thing, and I know that it can hit even women in their 50s. So make sure your numbers are right. Glutamine, aminos, a fun fat burner to keep you moving and grooving if you want. Anything else that you like?
Yeah, so I just want to point this out. I know you've been talking about programs and, somewhat whatever. What works for me is doing the power bodybuilding at least once or twice a year, because it keeps my size and my strength. So even if I cut on calories, if I get ready for a shoot, for whatever whatever we plan, my strength is still there. It's like, hey, how you dieting? How are you so strong still? Because power bodybuilding, it's literally the foundation. You know, when you build your house and you put that foundation, like that hard cement that's going to hold it no matter what, that's what you guys need to do. So do power bodybuilding for that program, for whatever time the program is. And then after that, you guys try to do whatever else, and you'll see how your body responds, put it that way. On power bodybuilding, I don't do biceps and shoulders or whatever, but it still looks like I do. It's the compound movements. We know that. So deadlifts, chest, squats. But your body looks like you're hitting every muscle.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it just
The
looks
weight
like
change.
that. I get like, hey, how many times do you do biceps? I really don't. It's
And
just-
also, just
so
being
it
a
works.
female, I'd make sure that it's great that you're doing 4 days a week. I think
you don't need more
people
than that.
don't realize that for women, it's more important than even guys. Keep that bone density.
There you go. Mike, I just got over pneumonia. What's your advice to get back my lost
Jeff,
strength?
you wanna answer this one?
Jeff, I think Jeff's been walking ammonia. Yeah, just jump on power bodybuilding with me. Let's get strong. Let's get rocking and rolling through this year.
You don't do strength. Yeah, next workout, I'll fucking rep 500. I don't give a shit.
I guarantee he will too.
The only thing that I just need calories. Just gotta refuel my calories, and then boom. When you're training on power bodybuilding like that, you don't, and you can stop for fucking half a year.
You can take an easy week off and you come back even stronger,
Yeah.
which is really cool. But that's powerlifting. Powerlifting's that way. It really works that way. And what happens though is these people listen to so many things that have been edited over years and years and years, talking about the program 1 day every 12 days, work out once every 7 days or something. And it's like, holy sheesh, it doesn't continue to work that way. It's not the avalanche effect of you in powerlifting. What you do is you go for that 9 to 12 weeks. You take a week off before the meet and you're even stronger. Now, you don't get to just go, well, why don't I just take a week off every week? It doesn't work that way. And so, but you hear these kind of edited videos going, hey, this is what this person did. They didn't train for, he only trained once or twice every 7 or 8 days. It's like, no, I was around those guys. They actually were in the gym every day. Somebody else said that to me too. They said, yeah, they saw the same stuff. And they're like, no, that's not how. That was the cool thing about being around these guys in the 80s and 90s, is that you actually saw the true story, or I trained with them. And this is actually what we did, compared to when you look back and go, well, did I do that? I didn't do a lot of this stuff, or behind the neck shoulder presses. Everybody did.
I'm a skinny dude who has issues putting on size. Should I skip cardio?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, here's the thing. It's not the cardio, it's the calories, right? It's not that you're skinny because of the cardio. Most likely you're skinny because of the amount of calories that you're taking in. Feed that body. You should be in a surplus of calories. And then weight train if you don't want to be a skinny guy anymore. I don't mind you being skinny as long as you're strong and skinny. That way you at least you got bone density and you're healthy as you get older and older. We had a guy in training with us, and the one thing that he has to continue to get better at is strength, because he competes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's 180 pounds, maybe soaking wet. Right? He is. Yeah. But what we had him do the last 2 days is I had him do partials on squats, but just an overload. So again, he's 170, maybe 180. But he was doing 325 for partials. And it was great just to have that on his back. And then he came in today and we had him at 400 on deadlifts, but with reverse bands. And again, still that 400 at the top point, not the bottom. So again, it's the nervous system still feeling it. So these are the things that I want you to do. All right. And that way you just build up over time. Get those calories right. Start the Titan meal plan right now. Make sure your calories are right. And then give me a check-in here in a couple weeks on the changes, because it will happen fast.
Thoughts on sunlight? Do you bathe in sunscreen before leaving the house, or do you seek the sunlight?
I stay away from the sun, and I have my entire life. I am a sunblock guy. I'm that 12, 13-year-old kid that mom said, put sunblock on, and I've never stopped. So no, I don't do the sunlight. Now, here's the thing. The sunlight does give you some stuff, but also vitamin D does give you some stuff. And the upside of my genetics and what sun does to me compared to somebody else is two different worlds. And so I'm not a fan of it. For me, doesn't mean you shouldn't be. A lot of these things, they talk about getting out there in the sun, first thing in the morning, getting the cold plunge, doing all this stuff. If that stuff helps you, go do it. I don't care if somebody says there's no literature or there's tons of literature. It doesn't matter. As long as you just go out there and do it. It's like the heavyweight post that I put up the other day. Is 700 the same as 400 for somebody? Your body adapts to heavier weight and it changes. It's not a discussion. Your body changes with the heavier weight that you use each time. Your bone density gets better. Your connective gets better. It's not a debate. It's just a fact. Now, if you don't like doing it, that's okay. You don't have to do that. As long as you keep some kind of range of motion and lift as heavy as you can for yourself, you're doing the best you can. Oh, it was the 35. The guy says he's 35 and he doesn't want to go to the gym. They're taking that one and putting it on IG. It's great though.
Sunlight's a big one.
The sunlight's a huge one.
Podcasts love talking about sunlight.
I do get a type of sunlight because I do the red light therapy, and I love it. Love it.
Does weightlifting make you stiff? I'm trying to get into boxing while lifting, but my dad says that weightlifting makes you stiff, which isn't ideal when you should be loose and relaxed while boxing.
No, weightlifting correctly makes you even more limber. Yes, there's a lot of old school stuff, and so your dad's probably, well, he's younger than me, but he's got that old school mentality that they say it stunts the growth, it makes you stiff and slow. That's the complete opposite of what it does. You just got to train smart, and you're going to be training for boxing, so I would incorporate that into the way you train. Couple more, guys. Good questions, though.
Is it better to recomp or go through a dedicated muscle gain / face fat loss phase?
You want to explain that to me?
Recomp, isn't that the same thing? No.
Don't understand what you're asking. Sorry, buddy. But let's say hypothetically you're in a program that you want to lose weight. Can we agree on that? That's kind of what he's saying. So
Or gain muscle. Right?
yeah, what you would want to do is you're on a program, and I would weigh that program out and do the 12 weeks on it and trust the process. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. I would trust the process, trust the nutrition that you're on. You know, if you're on that 12 weeks of cutting, it doesn't always change every single day you wake up. And some days it really hits. So it's just your body trying to protect itself and try to understand what you're doing. And so you got to stay ahead of it and be just a little bit smarter than that. But I'd stay on it. I wouldn't just opt out.
The only other way I could read this is like, hey, I want to gain muscle, but I'm a little overweight. Should I start gaining muscle, or should I?
Wow, that's completely, yeah.
Or should I lose the weight first? That's.
Let us know if I completely destroyed your question, my friend. I'm sorry about that.
I mean,
unless it's, I want to gain muscle but lose fat. If it's that, then no. When you're slicing and dicing, you really, really want to mentally understand you want to retain as much muscle as you possibly can as you slice, without mentally destroying yourself going, if I lose some muscle, the world is over. It doesn't work that way. You can get the memory muscle back, you know, as soon as you're back into a surplus. So don't stress about that. If you're slicing, slice, get ripped. Get as ripped as you want to get. And if you're putting on muscle, you know, put that muscle on. And again, with that, it's, you know, the correlation with bulking. You're going to get a little bit of fat with the muscle. Jeffrey laughed. That always makes me curious.
Are you ready for that one?
Would I block him?
That's a question for Hollywood.
I got you.
He's embarrassed in the gym because of his fortunate situation.
He's so good.
Let's see. What do you do when you're skinny fat? Bulk, cut, maintain?
Lift and start the nutrition. Yeah. Lift and start the nutrition. That's the first thing you do. And it's great that if any of you are in that situation, accepting that, yeah, starving yourself and being that skinny fat is not a good thing. It's not a healthy thing. You guys ever just do any kind of basic research on anorexia and the breakdown of the percentage of fat. It's a pretty amazing thing when you think about it, because you got to think these people aren't eating, and they are thin, and the amount of muscle that is getting eaten up by their bodies because they're treating their bodies that way. It teaches you that food is amazing, and it's amazing if you can stay on a good, healthy plan. Last one.
Last one.
Do we have a good one? Did we already do the starred ones?
No, there's a bunch of starts that are open for business.
All right, rapid questions.
What's the best lower ab workout?
Hanging leg raises.
How to get bigger calves?
Train them every day.
Advice for increasing pull-ups. I can do 15. I want 20.
You can do that. You can do that right now. If you can get 15, you can get 20. But I would put some weighted belts on there and start getting like eights with some weights.
What do you think about close grip incline? I love the stretch on the triceps.
I don't mind that at all. We're doing reverse grip incline. So I love that idea. Good job.
Mike, how do I combine my studies that take a lot of time with my workouts?
Get your workouts in first thing in the morning. Get up an hour earlier.
There it is.
That was the last one?
Yeah, that's it.
Woo. Little rapid questions right there. Thanks, guys.
That's good for now.
Thank you. We hit those big numbers. 1,000. Thanks, guys. Remember, if you're going to ride with me on this as we're going into the new year, I am doing power bodybuilding. That's what the PB stands for. We are putting on size and strength right now. So it's the nutrition, the smart training, the loads of weights. So if you do notice that I'm getting sickly strong, you guys know that you're going to jump in with me and let's rock and roll and do this together. Titan Crew members, get on over there. I'll see you guys at the beginning of next week. Let's figure out what we're doing going into the new year, right? Talk to you.